Hi guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to talk about eggs. I'm going to talk about fertile versus non-fertile eggs and how to clean them or how to prepare them to go in an incubator. I do not currently have one. I used to. And I'm really considering getting one again just because my daughters, they know that a chick comes from an egg, and so they think that all of the eggs that we get have little babies in them and are like they carry them around like little babies. But so I think it would be cool if they got to see them actually hatch. But anyway, I want to go over a general overview of eggs, just because a lot of people that bought chickens last year, chicks last year, they're starting to lay, or you're wanting to buy chicks to have, laying hens at some point later this year, and there's a lot of questions that you could have. So I just wanted to go over them and know that there is no dumb question. On my channel, I will answer all questions. This is a place where if you have a question, ask it down in the comments and I will go over it, especially if I don't cover it in this video. And I want to stress again, there is no dumb question, because even my own mother was one of those people when I first got chickens 4 years ago. She thought that eggs would hatch in her fridge if she didn't eat them in time by the due date. So, like I said, I will answer all questions. So, let's get started. I actually have tons of eggs. So I have some eggs that I'm actually hoping some of them are bad, just so I can show you. And then I have some super fresh eggs from my chickens, and then I also have eggs from a very good friend of mine, and she has at least one rooster, so they're fertile. So I'll be able to show you the difference between fertile and non-fertile eggs. So I hope you stick around, and let's get started. Okay, so I have here my eggs, which are not fertile, and then my friend's fertile eggs. Now, some things to know about fertile versus non-fertile: there is no difference in taste, and there is no difference in texture. There's no difference as far as the quality of the egg. The quality and taste of your egg is going to be determined by the age of your egg, what you feed your chickens, their environment, like do they get fresh grass and bugs and whatnot. That's all going to change the richness of the yolk. But as far as fertile versus non-fertile, there's not going to be a difference. And of course, fertile, you have a rooster. Non-fertile, no rooster. So I have no rooster. These eggs are not going to produce any chickens. Doesn't matter if a hen lays on them or not. And when you have a rooster, all of your eggs can be fertile, or only certain hens' eggs can be fertile. I've had a couple different roosters that one liked all the ladies, and one had his couple favorites, and the rest were just out of luck on getting some extra loving. So know that as well. But I will get ready and bring you in close to show you the difference to how to tell once you crack open the egg. So, on mine, you can see that they just look like normal egg yolks. There's nothing there. But over here, and I did more than one just to show, like this one, unless I'm missing it, this one is not fertile. But what you want to look for is the bullseye. So this one, see if I can, there's a bullseye there, and there's a bullseye there. So you can see the dot, and then you can see the ring around that dot. Because sometimes you can have a non-fertile egg that will have the dot, but it won't have the bullseye. So what you're looking for to, so say your hens have just started laying, you're wanting to know if you have fertile eggs, because you have a rooster, and you're wanting to potentially hatch your own, you crack open some eggs and see if it has the bullseye. And if it has a bullseye, then you have fertile eggs and your rooster is doing its job. Okay, so let's talk storage of eggs and how long do they stay fresh. If you're getting eggs from the store, they're usually already at least a month old. And of course, they've been washed and usually have a protective layer put back on them that was washed off. So we're going to talk about how to store your fresh eggs, since store-bought eggs are already old. When you get your fresh eggs, you can store them on the countertop if they are unwashed. They must stay unwashed if you're wanting to keep them on your countertop. And my rule of thumb is about 2 weeks. If they're older than 2 weeks, I throw them in the fridge. But about 2 weeks on your countertop, unwashed. You can also leave them unwashed and just throw them in your fridge. But if I'm going to throw them in my fridge, then I'm going to go ahead and wash them. At that point, they need to stay refrigerated. A washed egg loses that protective layer that's on the outside of the egg, the bloom. And so it'll go bad if you wash it and then leave it out. But a fresh egg in the fridge can last at least 3 months. So you're talking like your eggs will stay nice and fresh. So it just depends on your preference, like whether you want to wash them, not wash them. Are you going to go through them quick enough to where you don't need to put them in the fridge? That sort of thing. But we're going to get ready and test them, and I'm going to show you how to see approximate the freshness of your eggs. And I know I'll probably have someone comment saying that they've eaten a floating egg and they have not died. I am happy for you. I'm not willing to test the taste of a floating egg. So, to each their own. But looks like my water is about ready, so let's test some eggs. Okay, so first off, when you are going to clean your eggs, you want to have warm water. You do not want cold water because eggs are porous. And if you're using cold water, you're actually going to potentially be putting the bacteria, the mud, the poop, the whatever that's on your egg inside. It's going to leach inside the eggshell. So we don't want to do that. So I have warm water. It's not hot because we're not wanting to hard boil our eggs. It's just nice warm water. And then I like to use some white vinegar. My dad soaks in baking soda. So either one would work. They're both going to do the same thing. They're going to clean the egg, which is ultimately what we want. Now, these eggs have been sitting on my counter for at least a couple weeks. And so I'm hoping some of them will actually float so I can show you the different, because these are all different ages. But you just want to gently sit your eggs in the water. Okay, so my plan didn't go exactly as planned because I have no floating eggs. So this just goes to show that even if they're on your counter for over 2 weeks, they can still potentially be good eggs. But I do want to show you some differences. So to tell like freshness of eggs, obviously floating is supposedly a bad egg. So if it's floating, I'm just tossing it. you'll have difference of opinions on that. I get enough eggs to where if I throw one out to the birds, then I throw one out to the birds. But we usually go through all of ours just fine. But you're wanting to look at the angle that your egg is laying. So for instance, an egg that I just got today, let me make some room where you can see it well. So this is an egg from this morning, and you can see it's rolling away, but you can see it lays completely flat on its side. So when they are laying completely flat on their side like that, that is a very fresh egg. So then we'll have like this one. It's barely lifting its butt up. So that's about a week old. And then you have this one, you can see is at a higher angle. That's more like 2 weeks old. And then you'll have your eggs that are standing straight up and down. So you can see I have, because I told you I have some old eggs here. I have quite a few that are straight up and down. Those are going to be at least 3 weeks old. So like I said, you know, you can have eggs last 3+ months in your fridge. So when you go to test them, if they're, you know, straight up and down, you know that they're at least 3 weeks old. Still be okay. Now, obviously, if your egg is bobbling up like this or bobbling like this, you don't want to eat it. But I usually let these soak for about 10 minutes or so, and then just go in with a rag and gently wipe them off. If you were wanting to wash your eggs but keep them out on the counter, you could just take a dry rag if they weren't super dirty like this. You could just take a dry rag and gently wipe off something that would be on it, but like this one obviously I have to put in the fridge now, but it was a clean egg. So, and actually all the ones that I got today are clean eggs. So they didn't need anything done to them, but usually if there's just a little something on them, like something like that, I usually just take a rag or something and just gently wipe it off. Almost forgot to talk about the last thing. If you're wanting them to go in an incubator, so if you are wanting to hatch your own eggs, which this is very broad, and if I do get an incubator, I will definitely bring you along for it. I'm really considering ordering one, a small one, off Amazon. But if you are wanting to hatch your own eggs, you want unwashed and preferably clean eggs. So, for instance, these eggs that I am soaking, I would not personally use those because that's just going to put bacteria in a very humid and supposed to be clean, but it won't be clean environment for the eggs. I would use clean eggs. So these are eggs from today, and you can see besides that one little blemish, or not blemish, but mud spot, they're clean eggs. This, I see. Those are the types of eggs I would use. Like, for instance, even this one, I probably wouldn't use it. So if you're, you know, for sure going to do it, I would just take a week and say you're wanting to do a dozen eggs in your incubator. I would take a week and take out the best looking eggs from every day that week and use those to hatch. That's just my personal preference, but the 2 times that I have done, I've hatched eggs, I've had 100% success, and that's how I did it. So, I hope that you found this informational. If you're new to keeping eggs, I think I went over everything that I was wanting to go over. I know my kids, my girls got a little loud in the background. They brought their books at my feet, and so they're reading to each other right now. So that's what that was. But if I missed something, please let me know, and I will make another video. And stay tuned, because the next video I have is actually natural egg dyeing, just in time for Easter. So I'm gonna get ready and do that video right now. So I hope to see you for my next video, and thanks for watching.